This is Don Brown. In these post-COVID years, so many of our clients have come to us asking about estate planning. It doesn't matter if they were clients that we represented in domestic cases or adoptions or traffic cases or civil litigation or whatever it might be. A lot of folks are really focusing in now on what am I supposed to do to prepare to help myself and my family as we move forward in life. And I'm just going to touch very, very briefly on a couple of the main questions we're getting. I won't go into a lot of detail, but one of the main questions we're getting are, what do I need in my estate plan? We'll talk about that for a second. And the other is, how often, if I have an estate plan, how often should I revisit it? Let's talk about the basic documents that are typically referred to in most estate plans. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but let's lay them out just for sort of educational purposes. You've got one, your trust, two, powers of attorney, three, healthcare powers of attorney, four, living wills, and then five, you have trust documents. And I'll just give a brief explanation of the will is the document under which you write out how you want your property passed to your loved ones, is one way of doing it. A power of attorney is a document that you give someone else the authority to make legal decisions for you. A healthcare power of attorney is very similar. It's a document that you give someone else the ability to make healthcare decisions for you. A living will is something that became popular in the last 50 years, starting with the Karen Ann Quinlan case and Terry Schiavo case. Some folks want living wills so that if they are ever on, respirators or other types of life support medical care that really is not going to save the life, they would like to have that removed. That's called a living will. And then there are trusts, and there are two types of trust, and we'll do separate, you know, videos on each one of these documents. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but we have basically what we call a revocable living trust, and we have an irrevocable trust. Now, there are other types of trust also. It can get complex, but I don't want to overdo it. Revocable living trust is something that you can use to help your property escape the probate process altogether. An irrevocable trust is very similar, but it gives some additional protections for, in case you get sued in a lawsuit or somebody tries to come after your property or protect it, you can use an irrevocable trust. So those are the five basic documents that we talk about in estate planning. One, wills, two, trust, three, powers of attorney, four, healthcare powers of attorney, and five, living wills. I might not have done that in the same order that I gave them to you a moment ago, but those are the five. And we'll do some videos on every one of these to kind of like explain them in more detail coming up. The second question, though, is this, and we get this from existing estate planning clients, who already have an estate plan, and even from folks who don't yet have an estate plan, and everybody should have one. And that is, how often should I revisit my estate plan? In other words, how often should I review my will, power of attorney, my trust if I have one, to see if everything is up to speed? Well, there is no, legally, defined answer to that, but there are some very practical guidance that we give. And I would say that at least every 3 years and no more than every 5 years, you should revisit your estate plan. Why is this? Well, it's because there's so much change in life that can happen in a short period of time. Folks pass away, beneficiaries might pass away. Sometimes somebody will want to leave something to someone in the trust, and divorce is one of the main, unfortunately, life-changing events that our society must deal with. Sometimes, you may want to leave something to a beneficiary, that somebody who receives property, and that beneficiary has changed their attitude about you. You want to make an adjustment there. Sometimes folks make a lot more money and they got to figure out how to protect it. Sometimes folks, unfortunately, lose money in bankruptcy, which changes how the estate plan should work. And so we say every 3 to 5 years, you should do a review of your estate plan. But everybody should have an estate plan, and it should really start with the, consideration of the five basic documents that I started with at the beginning of this video: wills, living will, power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney, and trust. And we're happy to help you with your estate plan needs. If you have questions, you can call our office at 704-542-2525. Of course, I'm licensed in both North and South Carolina. We have clients all over both states. Or you can email me if you like at don@brownattorneys.com. That's don@brownattorneys.com. BROWNATTORNEYS.com. We'll put that up on the screen for you. Anyway, again, this has been Don Brown. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak just a few minutes. We'll look forward to following this up with some more informative videos, hopefully that will be helpful. Thank you, and God bless.